But hello, welcome to Food Practice, The Gathering Circle. These are our live food practice broadcasts over on the Facebook group, which is, it's partially private, I suppose. You can ask to join and I'll let you join. But it's not something that anyone can join. I really prefer for people who are familiar with food practice to join so that we can talk about things that are covered on the blog, whatever it is that we might be covering, and the food practice through the seasons series. I should probably do a little video and talk a little bit about that at some point and post it over on the page. But we get together on Sundays and we talk. What did I do? I posted that I was going to come on in 15 minutes. It's probably only been 10. But that's okay. I was eager to get on here and talk to you guys. And I'm going to just hang out until someone shows up. And if not, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what's going on this week, because as all of you know, we have a pretty stressful week coming up, probably in the world, but very particularly in the United States, given the contentious election that we've got coming up on Tuesday. And I think that even if you are standing on different sides of the election, I guess, argument, who to vote for, it's still pretty stressful, I think, for everyone. It's been a really very high tension, contentious, ugly election that has trickled down and affected everyone. I have not talked to a single person, or I've talked to many people and not a single one of them feels good about it. Not a single one of them does not have some sort of tension and stress around it. A lot of people are really nervous about what they're going to be doing on Tuesday, because there's something really almost self-destructive about being glued to the television all day long. It is so stressful and it's so scary, because our future and the future of the planet is kind of being held in the balance here. And there are some who don't believe that, but it seems to be very true. So I really wanted to talk a little bit about how to self-care with food during a really stressful week. We've got a lot going on this week. The nation, the world itself, I think, is just kind of with bated breath wondering what's going to happen. And many will medicate that stress with food. And typically when we medicate and comfort ourselves with food, it's not necessarily with food that actually feeds us and nourishes us in order to truly feel better. We tend to self-medicate and to nourish or to comfort ourselves with food that actually depletes us even more and exacerbates the issue. And so one of the things I wanted to talk about was exactly this, that as we go into this incredibly highly stressful week, how to do small things that will in fact truly comfort you and truly nourish you and truly help comfort you through what's potentially a really difficult time. And I think that just about anything that I talk about in food practice can help counter that. However, because you're not going to go through the entire website overnight before Tuesday hits, I'll give you some. And one of them is what I talked about on one of the videos, I think maybe it was about 2 weeks ago, which is it's important to be present. It's important that when you eat, you be as present with your eating experience as humanly possible. When we stand in front of the refrigerator and we just nosh mindlessly, we are not being present. We're trying as hard as we can to check out. The whole, the vibration of that kind of eating is to check out. You just want to numb out. And it's about kind of stuffing this void or stuffing this anxiety. And that not only does that, that contributes to stress, a stress response in the body, it also contributes to weight gain, and it also contributes to your mind signaling your body to have a need more. Because what happens is that when we eat, and we're not even actually present with the food that we're eating, we almost bypass the conscious part of our brain that registers and says, oh, she's actually had food to nourish her. And so there's something missing. There's something missing in that unconscious eating signal that makes your brain say, you need more food. You need more food because you didn't get enough nourishment, and so you have to eat more. And that is a very key component to how mindless, unconscious, numbing eating contributes to our collective weight gain, because it bypasses the neurological system. There's a part of it that says, you actually didn't get what you needed from what you ate. You need to eat more. And yet you've accumulated all these calories, but they don't translate into something that actually nourishes and feeds you and helps your body reproduce itself. So one of the key things to help manage yourself through this stressful week is to eat consciously, to eat slowly, to be as present as possible. I talked a couple weeks ago about the importance of taking a deep breath, taking 3, 5. If you're alone, I would recommend taking 10 long, super slow, deep breaths before you eat anything. It completely shifts your mind. It completely shifts the state of your body. You will relax exponentially, and that will prep your body for receiving the food more fully, but also elevating the amount of nutrition and nourishment that you gain. And that I should probably write a little more about that in the blog in terms of all the different ways that your body then begins to really receive what you eat when you do this. This thing is such an amazing, simple exercise. But it takes care of the consciousness, it takes care of the need of your body to be relaxed, and it takes care of the need for you to be present, because it's a great tool for bringing you back, bringing you in and bringing you into the present moment. The other thing that I would recommend is do that throughout your meal. I have certainly found that while I'm eating, if I start that way, I start to eat in a really relaxed state, and I really can be present and really take in the pleasure of the food that I'm eating. But if you're in conversation, or if you start thinking you're eating alone and your mind starts to go into a tense place, you start to kind of clench up, even though it doesn't feel like it. And so every few bites, maybe I'll put my fork down and I'll take a long, deep breath, just take a minute and come back. And I feel like that does a tremendous amount of what does it do? It does a tremendous amount of recalibrating and bringing me back. It's a practice. You have to keep coming back and back and back. So for this week, I recommend really focusing on that. And I really recommend focusing on what it is that you crave, paying attention to it, and not judging it. We do enough neurotic judging of what we eat. I think that a lot of us know what our bodies need and what it doesn't. But if you're craving something because you're feeling tense and you're feeling stressed out and you want something that actually helps you feel full and grounded, honor that. Let that be what it is and just be present with it. You do a lot of help to yourself by eating whatever comfort foods you have, and you do it present in a present state of mind, in a conscious state of mind. That alone can help mitigate a lot of whatever damage that quote-unquote junk food may do to you. And it may not be junk food, but if it is junk food, if your go-to comfort food is potato chips, for instance, there's not a whole lot of nutritional value going on there. There's some, but not a lot. But you can mitigate that simply by being more present, simply by being relaxed, consciously trying to relax yourself while you eat, being present with the flavor, with what you're ingesting, with how much you really like it, how much pleasure it's actually giving you. That alone can help mitigate the damage that it's doing to your body, if it is doing any damage to your body. So really, I think I would say to you to slow down in your eating, slow down with everything this week. If you have to set boundaries about how you eat, in terms of don't have television on, don't have your phone with you, try to stay away from tech that is constantly refreshing and giving you updates and news about what's going on with the election. Put that away. Take some time and give yourself the silence that you need in order to nourish yourself and replenish yourself. This is going to be a hard week that's really going to tax our adrenal system. It's going to be very stressful. And even if you're not stressed out about the election, the reality is that most people around you are going to be extremely stressed, and you're going to be affected by that. It is everywhere. We are all in a really tense place. So slow it down, really limit the amount of stimulus that's coming in all the time, particularly on Tuesday, you guys. Holy cow, on Tuesday, please, for the love of God, don't watch the television all day long. Just don't. Don't check in all day long. Give yourself, you can set some times, like check where the election is on at 12 o'clock, then maybe check back in at 3, then maybe check back in at 6. Like, give yourself some space if you cannot wait until the end of the day to check. Check at intervals, but don't be glued to the television. That will just kill you. It'll be very difficult, very stressful. It'll deplete you, and there's no need for that. There is no need for that. You need to really be fiercely protective of the state of your body, the health of your body, the way you feed yourself. And when you feed yourself, right, that kind of stimulus, what you're really doing is just leaching out nourishment, leaching out energy, and it's not beneficial to you. It's not beneficial to anyone around you. So really take care of yourself. Slow down, limit the stimulus, take deep, relaxing breaths around your meal, during your meal. And if you're craving some comfort food that may or may not be the best for you, just let go of the judgment, man. Just accept it, honor what it is, honor the craving for what it is. Have the food, have it. Just let yourself have it, but make sure that you're present with it. Make sure that you're breathing through it as if you would any meal, and honor it, and just see if just that shift of breathing, being present, relaxing around it makes eating that a little bit better for you. It may be that you don't need as much. It may be that you realize you don't totally like it. It may be that you realize that you love it. It tastes amazing, but a couple is enough. I find that it's a little bit similar, a little different, but I love chocolate. And I will never give up chocolate. I love chocolate, but when I was eating really crappy chocolate, I needed more and more and more because my body needed it in some way, but it wasn't getting it. Both because I was eating it unconsciously, but because I was eating a very low quality chocolate that didn't have a whole lot of chocolate in it at all. Like, I'm sorry, Hershey's, but the quality of chocolate is really bad, and it doesn't actually have a high quantity chocolate as you could in a better bar that's made ethically, but also made with really good ingredients and a higher content. When I started eating better chocolate that had a higher quantity of chocolate in it, and I started to eat it in a way that was conscious and relaxed and present, I really only need a corner. Like, I literally will break off a little corner. I taste it. It's amazing. I fully enjoy it. And that flavor, you guys, if you've had chocolate and you like chocolate, you know what it's like, where the whole flavor just completely coats your mouth and it's just amazing. All of a sudden it was enough. To have a second piece was too much. Like, it was so rich, so good, so fully what it's supposed to be. I don't need more than that. And I think that that's a lesson that our bodies and food are really trying to teach us, that when we have good quality, when we have what we need and we're really present with it and we enjoy it, we don't need as much as we think we need, and we don't crave as much as we normally crave when we have low quality food. And actually, this is a topic for a whole other day. But you guys, no one's here, and I'm just gonna keep going because I just thought it just made sense to keep talking about it. But specifically, this video today is about relax. Try to give yourself the space and the time and the nourishment that you need to get through a very stressful week. And you know what? Maybe it doesn't need to be stressful. I think that on another level that has nothing to do with food, we might need all of us to come to terms with the reality that we're living, and rather than fret about the unknown and the lack of control that this week feels like it's going to bring, maybe we need to spend this week thinking more about how we can contribute to the kind of world we want to see. And that's a completely different topic, and that is a completely different thing unrelated to food, but it can be supported by the way we feed ourselves. Hi, Wanda. I think you've just joined. Welcome. I don't know that I've seen you before on the live broadcast, so welcome. It's good to see you here. I've been chattering on my own here for a while and talking about this week and how so stressful it seems to be for just about everyone that I've talked to, no matter what side of the voting you may be on. There's a lot of sense of tension and aggravation. It's been a very divisive and very ugly election, as all of us know. And so because of that, I thought I'd talk a little bit about how to mitigate those feelings with your food. But it's time to go, and I want to say hello to all of you. If you watch this on the replay, either on YouTube or on the website, this broadcasts live on the Food Practice Gathering Circle group over on Facebook. If you do a search, you can find it, ask to join, you can participate. I do these live chats on that group page on Sunday, so that if you guys have any questions, if you want to chat, you want to whatever, we're able to do that in real time, which is really kind of nice. And then I post these on YouTube, and I post these on Facebook, on the foodpractice.com website as well. But the group gives you the added bonus that if you wanted to do a little live chatting, you could, which is always great because I always love talking to you guys. And that's it. This week, a newsletter will be going out on Monday. If you're not part of the newsletter, please join. You do that by going to foodpractice.com and you'll see the sign up there. There will also be, in the next 2 weeks, I'm working on a couple of videos that showcase the Food Practice Through the Season series and what that does for you and how you can participate in that. It's an amazing grouping of practices that take you through the year in a way that recalibrates your relationship with food. And I think that's it, you guys. I will be online, but I will probably be very silent on Tuesdays to try to keep things kind of quiet and relaxed as much as possible. But I will be around. So reach out on the website, reach out on the Facebook group. There's also the Food Practice Facebook page. And let's just take care of ourselves and feed ourselves good food. Take care. Bye-bye.